What hurts at first, but feels good after a few seconds? Pulling out a splinter. Or an ingrown hair. My god, I got a splinter in my pinky that ended up sideways just above my knuckle, and I couldn't dig it out for a week because I had thought I'd gotten everything out day one until it got infected. Spent a whole night digging the scab out, then told my boss I might actually need it professionally removed if that's a thing. Same night a bunch of green crabs started leaking out, and I managed to finally see the splinter and pull it out. Damn thing was a 1/4 inch long. Vomiting. Feels bad when you are doing it, but afterwards you feel so much more relieved. The feeling of having to vomit is way worse than when you finally do. If I even think I need to vomit, you know those icky tummy mouth feels you get, I will make myself throw up. It's literally been a game changer if I have the flu, and instead of withering around in pain for 20 plus minutes, I just end it then and there. It's disgusting and I hate making myself gag too though. Taking a high and tight ponytail out. Getting in a hot bath. Especially after being really cold. Like 1,000 tiny pinpricks. This January we stayed at an Airbnb with a hot tub. We're in Canada, so it was about -25 outside. Getting out of the hot tub to stand in the cold air and rolling in the snow a bit, then getting back into the hot tub. Man, the pinpricks burned so good. Lying on the floor after a long day of standing up. Complete agony at first. Yup. Random muscles flex and tense up, back starts cracking, arms feel like jello, then boom, complete decompression, and it feels good. Fuck, this is how I realize I'm old. When you really need a pee and can finally unload. I have had both. Holding it for so long and the release is amazing. But also if I had to hold it forever, I've had it not fully release. Like I've been holding the valve closed for forever so it won't fully open and it's a trickle. This is the worst. A softball-sized shit. I had one a year back, and Jesus fucking Christ was it the worst thing I've ever experienced, but the feeling of it finally leaving my body was like nothing Eve felt since. The pure relief, from 40 minutes of trying to shit it out, to it thunking into the toilet. Wow. Inexplicable. I wish everyone felt that kind of release at least once, but I would never wish the pain of trying to push it out on anyone. I was in the hospital on painkillers that have a tendency to dry your shit out. I knew that I should get out of bed to take a shit, but with being drugged up and just getting out of surgery, I wasn't in the mood. This went on for a couple days, then I knew I really needed to go. Crawled out of bed and sat on the toilet for a half hour, attempted to birth this mass that had formed in my colon. Couldn't do it. Informed the nurse and she gave a laxative and suppository to lube the canal. I laid in bed most of the day waiting and worrying about what I was gonna need to do. Finally felt like I was ready to give it a go, so limped into the bathroom and sat on the toilet. I began pushing, then grunting, and then screamed to push it out, but it was stuck. I felt like I was being raped by a horse. Push and it barely moved an inch. Relaxed for a couple minutes, then intermittently pushed. Started panting like a woman giving birth, then relax and push again. Pant, puish. I was starting to reach for the nurse emergency call button but was too embarrassed. Excuse me, but would you mind helping me remove this log out of my ass? Thought about doing a reach around to shove it back in for another try later, but decided that would be a bad idea. In desperation, I gave it one last hee-ho and strained with all my might for what felt like 2 minutes, and almost passing out. Suddenly there was a loud splash and my world filled with joy. I was exhausted and relieved that I had finally gave birth to the biggest turd I have ever seen. Randy Marsh would have been impressed. True story. Edit. I forgot to add the best part. An hour after giving birth and being safely back in bed, a maintenance guy showed up with plunger and went into the bathroom. I'm not joking. Dragging yourself to take a shower. Deep tissue massage. Damn right. I love very firm pressure on the knots under my shoulder blades. If I'm not sore the next day, it wasn't enough. That sore, loosened up feeling is the best. Learn that knot is usually your rhomboid. Personally found finding the name of it helped to look up stretches. Also, if you've never tried it, put a lacrosse ball on a carpet floor, then lay on it, and put it right on that knot. I'm a massage therapist, and I have to recommend you put a ball in a long sock, sling it over your shoulder, and use the sock to position the ball to your preference, and then lean against a wall. This way you are in control of the pressure and gain increased control over the ball's position. It might feel good to go full hog on the pressure and just lay with all your weight on the ball, but believe me, control is your friend. Edit. Use the sock to lower or hoist the ball up, and try to keep pressure to where it feels good and painful at the same time. Generally don't go for a painful feeling that later gives way to a pleasurable feeling, but instead give your body time to react and increase pressure incrementally. Forcing yourself to sleep at a good hour. I have this problem every night. One of those stinging itches that when you scratch it, it hurts so good. I swear running hot water over itches while itching it is orgasmic. The feeling of rust against my salad fingers. Ending a bad relationship. Fucking this. I just ended a 10-year relationship I should have ended 3 years ago. It still hurts, but I know it was the right choice. Forgiving yourself. It's going to be okay. Rolling tennis balls under your feet after a 10-hour shift. Try a frozen water bottle in a fluffy sock. Arch massage plus icing the offended tendons. Get some better shoes, or quality insoles. Made a massive difference when I finally found some shoes I liked. Less foot pain, less back pain, less joint pain. It's worth it to me to spend extra on them. Rubbing hat hair. After our wedding, I took out dozens and dozens of hairpins and my hair hurt so bad. I then spent the next few minutes rubbing my scalp in extreme painful ecstasy. Chugging water to unclog the bread you ate too fast. When the nerve block needle goes in before surgery. Oh dear God. Needle to numb a wound before stitches was the worst pain I've ever felt. Here's a needle so you don't feel my needle. Having an abscess drained. Had an abscess tonsil and any touch caused throbbing pain. When the doctor put the scalpel to it I almost screamed, very bad with a knife in your throat. But the ecstasy I felt once he was cut open and drained is unmatched by anything other than sex and a few drugs. Apologizing never easy, and some simply won't, but it definitely feels better after, especially if the apology is accepted. It really is incredibly better than not. It's normal to feel scared and ashamed, but if you don't face it, it's not going away, it will just shadow you forever. Much better to face up to the hard thing and admit you were wrong than to carry that burden. Cracking joints, particularly ankles and wrists for me. My elbows are the worst. It's when I get the resistance to open, and then they finally crack. Brings me to my knees, and then it feels good. My knees occasionally do it too, but it's usually my elbows. Taking off tight shoes after walking the entire day. Had a subungual hematoma under my thumb after smashing my thumb accidentally in my car door. Hurt like a sunfish. Couple days pass, pain gets worse. Throbbing, swollen. Could barely move my thumb. Thought maybe I fractured it, visited the ER. Not broken. They said it was just blood trapped under my thumb and the nurse burned little holes in my thumbnail. Nothing, no blood. Told her it felt like it was further back between the knuckle and the fingernail. Asked if she could needle it just beneath the cuticle. She said she didn't want to get into the soft tissue. Gave me the burner, sent me home. Advised burning holes in thumbnail. Another day passes. Hurts more plus burn thumb. Miserable, no sleep. I got to my local college nurse the next day and asked her if she can run a needle under my cuticle. She advises, "It will hurt a lot, but I can if you want." I told her it couldn't possibly hurt more than it was. We're talking head banging, toothache, and my finger level pain. She runs the needle beneath my cuticle, just about and 1/8 of an inch. Stung about like I thought it would, but when she pulled it out, a stream of blood shot out from my finger easily 8 feet across the floor. Instant relief. Like holding your bladder all day long and taking a big piss, my thumb deflated to normal size within the hour. I've never been in this situation, but with the way you told this story I felt the relief too. Getting out of bed. There's countless times I wanted to sleep, and because I was tired, I pushed myself to get out, and it's not as bad anymore. As a fat dude riding my bike. Losing a toxic friend. Pulling out an ingrown toenail. Spicy food. It hurts so good, then it's just a nice feeling in your mouth after. And then it hurts again the next day. Admitting you were wrong to an understanding person. Getting a tattoo, but after too long it starts to hurt again. Getting your ear wax professionally cleaned out, They use this special ear stick thing to take out the earwax, and it scratched the sides of your ears, and at first it hurts, but oh my lord, it feels so damn good after a minute. The truth. Popping a pimple. Couldn't figure out why my side hurt so bad at my belt line one day. Got home and looked, dime-sized pimple that wasn't there that morning. Hurt like a mother. Gave it a small squeeze, got tunnel vision and saw the pearly gates. Then sweet release as what can only be described as goop ichor shot like 5 foot and only stopped when it hit the mirror. Never experienced such extreme pain and pleasure all in the same minute. Pimple on the edge of your lip might be worse. Those bring tears to my eyes. What hurts at first but feels good after a few seconds? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.